Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 30 of our commentary for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Last time, we ventured into the Pirate's Grotto and uncovered the final paper curse, the ability to turn into an origami sailboat, which we will use in this episode to explore the rest of the cavern.
What if you got this, brand new ability to turn into a paper boat, and you, go in the water, and you just immediately get soaked and crumple up?
Yeah. I never understood that, and obviously I'm very ignorant about the mechanics of origami sailboats, but, how does that work?
He's made of cardstock.
He's laminated.
Well, not Mario, but, don't people make, paper boats in real life?
Probably.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they sink into the water and pollute the river.
And kill all the fishes.
As we all know, paper isn't biodegradable.
It's not like it's made from trees or anything.
They probably get, some kind of special paper, get a waterproof spray or something.
Now, waterproof spray is not biodegradable.
The waterproof spray actually makes sense.
I mean, again, cardstock isn't super susceptible to water. It could just be that.
This is just one long straightaway to get back here.
They just put the boat in the water and tell the boat, I believe in you.
Yeah.
So that fence over on the walkway there, you can hop over that?
Probably. I mean, it looks like you can.
I never knew that.
Maybe.
You're quite the wrong way Wally, aren't you?
Mario's jump in this game is really low. And a lot of times, you think, even if you can jump to the altitude to clear something, there's just, an arbitrary invisible wall that doesn't let you over. So left this in to showcase one of the other methods to cross over this obstacle, which we described earlier.
Gosh, you really do have just, an amazing squad of buddies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I really appreciate that you can go right to the party menu with the press of one of the D-pad directions. Mm-hmm. As you can with actually every tab of the menu has its own button on the controller that opens it, which is really good button allocation.
Now, hold on a second here, Joe. How did you get that crank without first finding the eagle medallion and the green herb and...
Well, you see, Nick, this is a different game.
Don't you need the crank to get the eagle medallion?
Is this a Resident Evil thing?
Well, we already got the eagle medallion by defeating Rick Eagle.
Yeah.
At the
Rick Eagle?
Yeah, at the glitter pitter.
Wasn't there a gun safety video with... No, that was Eddie the Eagle. Maybe Rockhawk needs to host a gun safety video.
I'll just grab my little desert eagle. First of all, that is super annoying that you get sent off with that.
Yes.
And second of all, I thought you were talking about Gun from Shadow the Hedgehog. I was
grab my gun.
Was there a gun safety video? Is this a cutscene that I missed?
In my mind,
how to safely operate the gun convoy.
In my mind, Rockhawk already sounds like Torg from Borderlands. So him doing a gun safety video would be incredibly ironic.
Yeah.
This bunch of toads deeply unsettled me back when I still thought that the toad things were their actual heads.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing's saying that they're not. We haven't confirmed or denied that fact.
This part deeply unsettled Dan back in the day because he thought these toads were all just part of one big creature.
Yeah.
We are Toad.
Yeah, you get there and they all just coalesce into the smorg, but toads.
No, they
Mario,
stand there
prepared to be assimilated,
looking exactly the same and say, "Hi, I'm Toad," with one voice.
Yeah, and it's
simultaneous.
Just really huge amplification because they're all speaking at the same time.
Strong reverb.
Yeah.
Also, so you said the smorg. Is that a reference to something that references the Borg, or did you just not know what the Borg were called?
No, it's a reference to a different thing in this game.
Yeah.
That we haven't gotten to yet.
A smorgasbord?
Yes.
What the hell's
It's a spoiler!
We haven't gotten to the chapter where Templeton eats everything at the carnival.
Is that...
Hold on, Dan. You're telling me there's a secret Chapter 9 that I didn't know about?
Yeah,
I like that
it's the Charlotte's Web level.
The memory you associate with the word smorgasbord is Templeton eating everything at the carnival in the Charlotte's Web cartoon movie.
Eats everything in Hyrule.
Nick, anyone with a childhood makes that reference, okay? Or that connection.
I mean, the Charlotte's Web cartoon movie was good, but I just think of, you know...
I like that of all the things that
Sandwich?
Joe gets, like, if you didn't have this, you were not a child. Of all the things, it's my Templeton reference for the Charlotte's Web cartoon movie.
Yeah. Is that weird? Don't answer that question. So now that we're completely done with it, I was going to comment on the... Because I think the last time we talked about the going into the background sections was when I was AWOL, thanks to the ISP Enforcement Brigade. What I wanted to say about this... apart from it just being a cool, like, visual gag that you can go into the background, I appreciate that, like, they consider... Like, in most games, the background is just scenery. So I appreciate that this kind of expands, like, what can be, like, part of the level design. And to be fair, it is usually pretty arbitrary and, like, clear when, like, you can go into the background, because you'll see, like, stuff to interact with. But it's cool nonetheless. It's another way that this game kind of feels more, like... I guess, in a small way, a little more real than it otherwise would.
Man.
Can we talk about how Francesca is just nonchalantly talking about the soul of a 1,000-year-old pirate captain guarding a treasure trove?
We've been stuck on that boat for weeks with nothing to eat.
Man, Paper Mario was doing transitions from 3D to 2D platformer stuff before Odyssey.
Well, yeah, before, like, every other game that's, like, claimed that was, like, a huge innovation. Like, I love the Retro Studios Donkey Kong games, but I found it kind of silly how much they paraded around the fact that you can, like, go into the backgrounds in those games. It's like, yeah, you can, and it's cool. This is not the first time we've seen this.
Yeah, it was such a big selling point that was, like, the entire gimmick of the Donkey Kong Country stage.
Yeah.
So... Like, the first time you could go into the background in a Mario game was in Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But that was kind of different.
Yeah.
It's different.
How dare you ignore my warning? Continue ignoring my warning and the same thing I threatened you with before will happen.
Is that a pair of scissors above the
Doesn't
door
look
back
like
there?
darkness.
No, it's a couple of pirate swords.
This is the opposite of darkness.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
It's Captain Hook's room from Kingdom Hearts 1.
And I know I say that about every character in this game, but, like, they always find a fun way to put a spin on kind of like a tropey concept. Like, we've got the undead pirate guy here, but for some reason they decided to give him, like, a Spanish conquistador kind of vibe.
Yeah, he's the Spanish pirate. Yeah, Spanish pirate.
Spirate.
Cortez.
It's a pirate spirit. A spirate.
Yeah. I also love... What was Cortez when he was alive?
Yeah, what was he? He's like this giant, like Goro, like, snake demon thing with, like, a rat
What if he's
head?
actually just like the bones of his entire crew?
You suppose he's related to that one boss from Twilight Princess?
Ooh, yeah. Which is inarguably the best boss of that
My
game.
favorite thing here is that, yeah, it would be hilarious. It would be crazy to see what Cortez looked like in life, but the fact that he still has this, like, Spanish voice just makes it all the more hilarious.
So
I thought you only needed to circle like the pile of bones at the bottom.
You only need to circle the parts that are damageable.
I think so.
Did I just totally beef it again?
It's possible.
Maybe.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. And it won't be the last.
So, just as another small part of this game's lore, you know how Cortez has the crystal star, and also one of the black chests is here? It's because in the story, Cortez stole the crystal star from one of the heroes 1,000 years ago, which is what caused him to turn into a black chest.
It just started with a pot harmlessly, or a pan harmlessly bouncing off his head.
Yeah. Well, he is, as we'll see shortly, he is pretty much invincible to everything, so...
That curse effect was very helpful for
Yeah.
this fight.
Okay, wait, he lost his arms. He's just a snake now.
Yeah, so the gimmick with Cortez is that initially it seems like he has barely any health, but the trick is that he will come back in a different form several times, each with
And he has that.
a different like slew of attacks to throw at you. And here I kind of start to crap my pants because like, oh god, what do I do? What do I do? I can't take him out in one hit because I don't have art attack.
You could always Vivian.
Yeah, I think that's what we do.
So,
Or is it? Oh.
I don't know, maybe you take half damage anyway, so it's only like he has +2 power.
Yeah.
I like that glowing
Or
effect.
that might also only last for one turn.
It
Yeah, I
makes
think-
me uncomfortable how his ribcage gesticulates.
I guess you can do that when you're a Spirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a snake pirate.
Yeah. A Snyrate. That's what he was. He was a burrowing Snagret in life.
I was about to say, like, to bring it back to Pigman, he was a burrowing snagret.
And there it is again.
Irate
And
Snyrate.
he's invisible. Never mind.
Man,
The game's not going to be
That
that cruel to you.
that ghost is going right to the top of Mario's hit list. Come on, dude. Does this guy need help, really? I mean, I guess he is a skeleton. Boo's just like, I'll save you, Cortez.
Is every... Oh, the audience. Is every pirate section in video games just always cool?
Oh yeah, pirates are cool.
Once you get past all the backtracking, it's pretty good.
That's why
Yeah,
every
on
pirate
that
game
note,
that exists is good.
Since we're kind of flying through this fight, well, not exactly, but whatever. I guess that just brings me to a realization I had, like, you know, we spent a good 7 episodes in the in Chapter 3, the Glitz Pit, because I didn't want to cut any of the battles in that, since they were all, you know, effectively mandatory. But I've been a lot more liberal in, like, cutting out battles in the other episodes. And as a result, these late game chapters are ending up being, like, really short. Which really just goes to show how much of the playtime is inflated by, like, battling random enemies and, backtracking. Which it's one of those things, it's kind of like Wind Waker, where, like, yes, it is a flaw. It is something that could hamper your enjoyment of this game, but, like, I don't think about it while playing. Like, I enjoy fighting the enemies, and, like... Yeah, the backtracking
so
can
close.
be a pain, but it's not something that I would say, like, don't play this game because of it.
I would. Don't play
So-
this game.
So does it always do the...
I'm kidding.
I
This is
feel like
great.
it
Well, I
always
hope
does
you've
the
enjoyed
fog
listening
effect.
to Nick on this show, because this is his last episode.
Yeah.
For no particular reason.
I feel like it always does the fog effect when you're, like, when he switches to the phase with the floating weapons.
Uh-huh.
Which, the best thing to do there is actually to do, Bobbery's,
Bomb squad.
yeah, his big bomb attack. Well, I guess
Yeah.
you probably don't have it yet at this
Yeah, he
point.
doesn't,
no.
it's actually impossible to have
Yeah.
that here.
Because you
What
can't
you're
get back to the
really,
mainland.
'Cause
really
I think
the best
bomb
idea...
attack, like, clears out fog. Oh, okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So yeah, this Cortez technically has 80 health because he's, you know, he has 3 forms, and on the last one he fully restores himself.
Okay.
So yeah, what you really want to do here is use Flurry's Gale Force, because as opposed to other attacks which only get rid of the weapons for a turn or two, this permanently gets rid of them.
Oh.
And he can only attack you once, because if all of those weapons are in play when Cortez gets his turn, you gotta take damage from all of them.
Nifty.
And because it didn't occur to me my first time to use Flurry during this fight, because I hadn't really been picking her a whole lot, I had a really hard time with this boss, because he can deal a crap ton of damage to you if he has all of his weapons when he attacks.
Is Flurry actually the best partner?
No.
So
But
I'll get you out of a jam or two, I'll give her that.
so the way Bomb Squad works, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier,
That's not how it works.
is that Bobbery places those 3 bombs, which are now much clearer to see since the fog has gone away. And after 2 turns, they explode, dealing 3 damage each in an area. I don't know, my numbers might
More
be
or
wrong,
less. After a
but-
certain number of turns, they go off. So you can either
Yeah.
spread them out to deal like a little bit of damage across several enemies, or you can throw them all in the same place and do a lot of damage after a while to a single enemy.
I always thought the little bombs looked like... They look like little X-Knot devices. Just
Well,
like
they
the
kinda
way
do,
that the
right?
faces look.
Yeah.
2
Yeah, those aren't
damage.
accurate to Bobbery's character model because he only has 1 eye visible.
So I meant to point this out earlier, but Cortez is a skeleton guy, right? And he's
Yeah.
got a blue eyeball, right?
Yeah.
No.
No!
Oh.
And he
oh,
also has a Spanish accent, right?
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
I get it.
To be clear, audience, I don't know why people have such a strong, like, visceral negative reaction to people referencing Sans. I just know that they have a strong, visceral negative reaction to people referencing Sans.
It's just because they do it all the time. It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
I don't know why people have such a strong negative reaction to people referencing Sans. I just know that they do. And what can I say? I like to jump on a bandwagon.
Well, no, I just...
My treasure.
I'm trying to live up to the expectations of the internet, Dan.
Oh,
alright?
Cortez
His 2
is so
blue
small
eyes
now.
were good.
He's a little guy.
I'm done for. Oh, he's big again.
Just kidding.
You are foolish, amigo.
I'm pretty sure there's some, like, incorrect Spanish here. Like, there's words that aren't, like, properly accented, or, like, he doesn't use the right, like gender for, like,
Yeah, like conjugation.
Spanish-speaking people will know what I'm describing.
Amigo.
Or people who have taken Spanish classes in high school, you know, because they had to.
Here, take it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Cortez isn't such a bad guy. He'll work with you.
Cortez is one of my favorite non-partner characters in this game.
But what if he was a partner character?
I would love that.
So he's cursed to haunt the treasure, but
Well,
he's...
not so much cursed.
$1 million idea for the sequel to this game that's never coming out. Summons,
Oh, yeah.
where you can summon like a character like
Or you can
Cortez,
summon
who's
9
like,
minutes summoning Bahamut.
yeah,
You can summon the Knights of the Round.
The
it would
toads
be
of the
totally
round.
dumb and pointless and like wish fulfillment for little babies, but like
But yes.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to summon Lord Crump when I'm fighting Lord Crump for like the 3rd time.
Oh, God.
Okay, not every boss.
I want to summon Phase 1 Crump to fight Phase 4 Crump.
Just, you could summon old allies, or, well, like, old people who are no longer enemies, like a Bowser summon, a Cortez
Specifically
summon.
old
a
people.
Luigi
You
summon.
could summon Don Pianta, and he would, like, come out and, like, Tommy gun your enemies down.
My God.
But you still can't summon Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can summon the Poltergust, though. Just without him.
You can summon Gooigi, but not Luigi.
Getting upstaged by his own clone.
That would be just like a Luigi thing
Yeah.
to do.
Well, join us next time for Mortez.
Yes.
Bye.
Good night.